all hours, Susanne Bartsch.
I have to go where the light's good.
Where's the light? I don't know the light. That's not my art.
Okay. Oops. Hi, honey. How are you?
In the middle,
Sensitive.
Hi.
Oh, how's everyone doing?
Someone with the straw.
Now, before we get started, I want to call out all the famous faces in the audience who were in the film. If you wouldn't mind, could you please stand up or rise up a little bit? I'd like to see you all.
Salty. Hector. This is Hector. Salty. Salty, stand up.
Salty's like, that's a Salty?
Hi, Julie. How are you? That's a Salty, yeah.
We have Edgar Oliver in the back, who's Alex and our favorite.
Now, I want to kick off this Q&A with a few questions, but you have such a loving audience here that I don't want to hog up too much of your time. But the first question I do want to ask is, how on earth do you approach...
Okay.
Look at her, the queen of PR. The queen of PR.
I'm trying. Okay. I never did that before in my entire life. Okay. There's some.
Give her.
How did you, Anthony and Alex, get up the courage to approach Susanne about this project? What is the story behind this film?
This is surprising, but Alex and I did not know Susanne before any of this.
I didn't know them either.
We didn't, and none of us knew each other. Alex and I made a fashion film that was played at one of her parties, and we saw her from across the party, and Alex and I both said we have to get her number before the evening's over. And we got her number, and she asked us if we would come and see her, the beginning of her exhibit at FIT. And she was like, you guys are the most amazing filmmakers I've ever seen in my life. Would you think about doing something on me, please? And we said...
It's kind of true, actually.
No.
You know, they made a little film for somebody and they played it on my on top party. And I thought that was really great, very modern Warhol. And I said, you know, what's your number, actually? I asked you for your number.
Yeah.
And so, the next day I was going to the FIT, which is the dread of the film, and somebody called me and said, have you got any photos, any footage, are you doing anything? And I'm going, oh shit, it's August, the exhibition's in September, I have nothing. So I called these two queens, I'm going, hey, cameras. They told me they had cameras. I'm going, could you come and meet me at the FIT? That was the next morning. And they came over, and they kind of, their jaws dropped, and they were looking around. I said, I don't have a Bartsch, a big Bartsch. That's not going to be on my gravestone, by the way. Oh, you know it's salty. And they went away, they came back, called me that day and said, we want to do a documentary about you. I'm going, okay. I never ever had thought, everything about this project was so organic, it was so like, incredibly, like, it just flowed. I trusted them. We only signed a contract, like...
Yesterday.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I just felt comfortable. I mean, I had other people asking me to do things, and I never really wanted to be on TV or whatever, which we are going to be on TV, aren't we? So, otherwise you're fired. And so it was all very organic, but that's how it happened. Very unplanned.
And just one more question for Anthony and Alex related to this, but you know, Susanne has such a big spotlight on her at all times. How did you feel shadowing her in this large limelight?
It was really overwhelming at first. I mean, it was pretty... I think the second shoot we did was the FIT opening, when her party opened, and there were so many photographers there. There was, like, V-Files was there, and Days was there. All these people were there fighting for your attention. And it was definitely halfway through the night where we said, let's just step back and observe everyone fighting to get Suzanne's attention.
I think a big
it was
part,
pretty overwhelming.
For me, like, when there's a big spotlight on somebody, there's a lot of shadow around that spotlight. Like, I don't think that it was really that difficult because everybody was looking at Suzanne, and the spotlight was so big. There were so many things going on that it really was very, very.
It was nice to blend in.
It was like very easy to be a fly on the wall whenever, like if you stand next to Suzanne, nobody's looking at you at all, and that includes.
That's the point.
And if you have
That's the goal.
and that includes if you have like a crew.
You all look beautiful, by the way. Gorgeous. I see Alison.
Yes, I want to.
Hi, very supportive. Hi. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, I've been thinking about it this entire time, nonstop. But like when Suzanne, even if you have like a big boom and you have a camera or two cameras or three cameras, nobody pays attention to that at all because, I mean.
I blocked the camera.
She hogs the camera.
Susanne, we see your journey up through the FIT show, but can you tell us a little bit about what you've been up to since the filming ended?
I'm kind of still doing things in the nightlife world. I think I'll always be in that world because I love one thing you can't do on that square. You can do it all, sex, food, films. You don't have to go out anymore. But I feel dancing is like a meditation for me. It's very important. So you have to still go out to dance. And I love dancing. So I probably will be doing nightlife things forever. But I am working on many different things. One of them is sort of a cabaret show that I started like last year. And I got somebody proposed to me at the McKittrick Hotel, and I'm married to them now. We're doing this show every Friday at midnight. It's really good. It's a cabaret show. It's a show that's like, you go sit down and watch the show. So that's really exciting, and we're gonna travel with it. I think we're planning to. So that's one of my favorite things that I'm doing right now, as far as entertaining new girls. Boys is, yeah.
There is so much.
My lashes.
Oh, and the lashes. I went out and looked for false lashes today, and I just thought none of these compare. None of these are Suzanne's lashes.
I'll send you a pair.
Oh.
Hashtag Bartsch love.
Buy them now, they're available for sale. There's so much home video and archival footage in this film. First, the question for Taryn is, how much footage did you have to watch? What was the process of going through that? And for Susanne, a follow-up of, was there anything surprising that they put into the film or that they found?
Bailey's a mermaid. Bailey's still mad at me. He was like, don't give any family footage, and somehow they managed to get their hands on that.
It's very
he was
easy.
really
It was all
annoying.
handed to us from Suzanne, which I think is where the.
There'll still be a fight until the end. We'll never
No,
get in.
Salty, I gave you the footage of you and Matthew with the tanned look with the blonde hair from Miami, and at the end of that was Bailey's
Guess what was
mermaid
on the
thing.
tape?
But my favorite part about this thing with Bailey's is actually adjusting the bra when he gets in the bathtub. I mean, like, I said, what's your problem? You look flawless, darling. So, you know what I'm saying? And he's okay about it. He was mad at me. I guess he felt like I didn't respect, his wishes or something, and they wouldn't take it out.
Well, we talked to him afterwards, and it was the kind of thing where it's like it feels like the moment when everybody's like, okay, I'm on your side, and so the idea of getting rid of it. And he also never really said he was upset with it to us. And
I think it
and he
also-
reserved it and was very upset with her.
Nice is too nice.
I think also when we saw it, it really, I think especially me, it really showed. I wish that my parents were as cool about stuff like that, and I don't think we went through the thousands of hours of footage we went through of Suzanne's home videos and archival and Love Ball and all of it. It was a moment that was so clear that was good parenting, that was like, this is how parenting should be. And for me, it just felt like I wish my parents were more like that. Alex I know you wish your parents were more like that. And it felt like something that had to be in, and I would have thought I will
I think
still
it's
fight.
great it's in it.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Well, especially because Bailey, I feel like, comes out as every heteronormative, cisgender, straight edge parent would
Probably
want a
false
child to come out. I mean, sure, yeah, but there's an element of you can do this and still get anything, let alone what Bailey is. I
A
mean,
mermaid calls him, so I'm not going to turn anybody gay or straight. That's just
that's kind of the
it
thing.
was more
it's
about the privacy.
and that seems to be the underlying fear, from a bra
No,
when
it
you're
was,
five.
it was right about the friends at college.
I mean, like everybody else. I'm not like
Anyway,
Bailey, right?
he's
But
fine.
Taryn, as far as actually editing it all goes, is very different than the experience of what it was.
Well, I mean, it was a very collaborative process, all of us in the edit for months and months. I think, yeah, the biggest, or I think the most exciting thing about any sort of film that's going into the biography of someone is finding the, I guess the part that's not in the spotlight, the things that you wouldn't necessarily understand about Susanne. And the most moving stuff for me immediately and inherently was her relationship with her family, the unexpected, nuclear family that she found herself, heading as at a certain point in her life, and so that just felt really important to explore. And then I think it was a month or two into the edit where we kind of realized that the film
Going very personal.
was about you and what you've accomplished, but it was also very much about parenting and how the world would right itself slowly if everyone let their children explore things the way that she and David really effortlessly did, and that doesn't make anything about your child happen that wouldn't have happened anyway, except that they have all sorts of positive role models that don't necessarily look like what the role models are that are put forth by the mainstream. And we thought that was a really, really, really beautiful point. So that's the thing that you would never get from the other cameras that have circled you for a long time. So it's important.
Which is in large part because it was the only source of material where Susanne filmed all of it. So it was the only material where Susanne was like behind the camera. Like Susanne was in charge of all that instead of Susanne being this front and center
Housewife
spotlight.
trying to be movie maker.
Right, and so all of a sudden you have everything from Suzanne's point of view, which was unlike anything that we'd ever seen before because everyone's point of view is always on Susanne.
And then the other thing that was like actually annoying to me, I hate when I'm traipsing and at the end I'm schlepping around and I'm single and like, it's amazing when someone makes a film, like when you have one, if they catch it at a certain time, they just, like if they filmed me 3 weeks before I had like 4 boyfriends. I put out with all of them and I'm like, oh my god, what have I done? It's like, had they just got me 3 weeks earlier, it would have been a lot of fucking stories. But anyway, so that's, I did like that bit. I'm single, I am single, just so you know. Robert Rabbit in the house?
Can we get a show of hands? No, I don't
The
want
mommy will do too. I'm flexible.
Well, I want to open it up to the bachelors to ask a couple of questions. I would actually ask to open it up to the audience. Hector?
Regarding, of course, the love ball. I've been waiting for years to get me one hot, get me one more. When are you having another love ball? I've been wanting this.
When's the next love ball?
I need a sponsorship. We need sponsorship. I would do it again. It was the thing that I'm doing as we speak is still the life ball, which is the massive AIDS benefits that happens in Vienna, in Europe. I do that every year, go and perform and do stuff for them, and also get sponsorships for them. So that's kind of where I'm at in Vienna with life ball, but they give money all over the world and they help.
Yeah, New York would be a great to get to Vienna.
We did talk about bringing the life ball here, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you can count me in.
You're there. You're in charge this time.
This is also Hector Extravaganza, who's a really big part of the
this
film.
is Hector.
Hector is a huge part of the film.
Yeah, thank you. Very moving in the film. Really, really beautiful. Made everything worth well. All the stuff I went through helped me a lot. Thank you.
We're helping each other. It's a family affair.
That's what it's about.
And you brought me out, and again, I can say this honestly and openly. You helped me be here today. You helped me live. You helped me find me.
Thank you.
And without in the ballroom, it's just like, what you did, and back then, saying again, if it wasn't because you helped me be alive.
And I was in pain. I had to do something.
And,
there you go.
I have a tattoo on my shoulder blade that says, "Be the change you see." It was before your time, and I thank you again.
Thank you.
I don't think there are many other questions we can follow up like that.
That's an end. That's a wrap.
But we do have love fest here.
Night.
Hector and I. Are you showing Daddy?
We have a question in the front.
I missed Kunst Pride. How was it?
Oh, it's great. Really beautiful. Amazing
I saw
people.
photos.
Yeah. It was nice not to be in Manhattan in that very like touristy and commercial a little bit. So being over there in the middle of nowhere was really nice. It was great. I missed you.
We always miss you.
Thank you.
No, it's not just as easy as saying something like you host parties. You do so much more. You're a producer, you're a creator, you're a director. We don't see so many of these roles on film. Can you give us a little bit of insight about what happens after you conceive of the project? What's the next step?
I mean, it's kind of an energy injection when you have an idea and you're able, anybody probably who had, if you create, creativity to me is like the ultimate high. It's God, really. So if you have an idea, it comes from within, obviously, and you see it come to life and you start working on it, it's an incredible energy injection and it gives you a real drive. And I'm kind of addicted to it. I mean, it started in the 80s when I did this fashion show called New London in New York. And I had a line around the block, twice around the block, at the Roxy, and it was so amazing to see all these people come to, even this now, this is like, you did this, I didn't do it, but, all you people come together and sharing something and having an energy with each other, it's just the most beautiful thing there is. So, I forgot what the question was.
Yeah, answers it, but just after you have that idea, what are the next steps to making it a reality?
Well, then you make the phone calls. It's like what you're doing. You want to show the film. You got to go to them. You have to do call bill. It's phone calls, really, emails, asking people, planning, map it out, find the space. What you gonna? When I find the space, then I decide if I should go this way or that way or what way. It's all like patchwork, really.
How do you hire people? How do you find those people that you hire?
A lot of people come to me because they know what I do, and then I have people that I work with, and they bring friends. So it's kind of like, I never did a casting call or anything. I see somebody, I go to an event, or my own events, I see someone, she looks amazing. You could work next time I have a cons. My cons party is once a month. I don't know.
I know.
I mean, one thing about me, I'm very non-planning. I'm a very, I think the thing I hate the most is to have to be somewhere at a certain time. That must be my Swiss upbringing. I like to just go with the flow and it happens. And, if you focus, I want to have an event. I'm having one on the 21st of July. I think about it and I see things, this would work there, this works there. It's kind of very organic. I am very organic, really. It's just like my looks, it's everything. Right? Put together.
Simple as that.
Kind of. It's kind of simple. It's simple. I think if you do too much analyzing, it ends up having for me, the energy is not the same. If it just happens. A lot of work. I'm making it easier than it is.
Do we have any more questions in the audience? I don't want to hog up time from anybody here. And another question up front.
I want to know who makes your earrings.
Who made Alex's earrings?
Bartsch lad.
I got these for Christmas from Anthony. So I asked Anthony. Is it Marshall's, Macy's?
You made them?
I think it was Walmart. No, I don't know. I don't know. I actually don't remember where I got them from. I'm sorry. But they're great, right?
Oh, that is very nice. Can I use your bag for the rest of the night?
Things fall out, don't
Yeah, I actually just wore it because my jacket was vaguely Asian. I'm like, good enough.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't know.
remember, but they were
That's
great.
why I like a lot of things, is because they're vaguely Asian.
That's, next tattoo.
I love that we're off the film. We're on the
just
earrings.
totally.
Do you see? We're talking about earrings now. It's great. I love it.
It's all very
That's the question.
Yeah, I was very interested in the 80s footage that you had, because it's a period that I lived through and knew a lot of the people in the art and performance scene. And I wondered if you went to some of the regular clubs in those days, like Area and Danceteria and all those kind of places.
Did you club much in the
I
80s?
can't-
Yeah,
I
go to
can't
many
see
of
it.
the area clubs.
Oh my God, I went everywhere. I lived in the clubs, Garage area, you name it. I went Mars, danceteria. And there were some really cool clubs, like on 14th Street, people had an apartment, and it was called Jefferson, and every Friday and Saturday you went to their apartment, there was a huge party, a club. They hung a disco ball, put some lights. That was like the most underground party I've ever been to. And then my most favorite party ever was in the 70s. I'm giving away my age now, so fuck it, right? I went to the Gilded Grape, it was called. That's where Ian Schrager, who's a friend of mine, got inspired to do Studio 4 with the Gilded Grape. It was incredible. He then ended up turning into Chi-Chi Barnums. They would have like drag queens flying on trapezes across the bloody place with handing you a joint. I don't smoke. I'm drug free. I am. So it was just crazy. No nets. These queens with wigs flying around. It was fantastic. I mean, those days, you know, I'm glad I experienced them. And yeah, I went to every club there is, I think. I loved it. Again, it's different. Music is what makes me want to go to clubs mostly. But in those days, we had to go to hook up. You know, we were alone if you didn't go out to the clubs and the bars and stuff. So it was a vital part of one's life.
Did you know Taylor Mead much?
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah. He was in the scene. He was everywhere too.
Well, speaking of parties, you have one tonight.
Yes, the on top party. Oh, I have to block that now? Okay. No, sure. I'm having my on top party tonight, which a lot of the filming was done. And that's every Tuesday in the summer. It's a summer party. It's really fun. It's still good. It's my 8 years and it's still really, really great. So if anyone feels like hanging out,
We're all gonna go there after.
We have time for one more
It's free to
quick
go.
question. I think we have a question in the back.
Oh, no. Yes, the Copa. Oh my God.
Wasn't that a great time? I hate going and saying it was great. It's great right now, but that was great. Exactly, exactly, right. And I didn't get any percentage.
It all changes tonight.
I'm an old count for you.
I wish we had time for more questions. This is fascinating. You are fascinating. I'm so honored to have had you here at IFC Center, and I'm so thankful
Thank
for
you so
all
much
of
to
you
IFC.
for coming here.
Yes.
Thank you so much to Asha. Asha
Give it up to Asha.
Asha programmed this film.
And we can't forget to thank the Orchard, Cinematic Media, and World of Wonder for helping us with this screening. Susanne, Anthony, and Alex, Karen, thank you so much.
And I hope, did you like the film? I wasn't here, I came late. Thank you, Anthony and Alex. Where's my pin?
Thank you all so much for coming. If you enjoyed this film, please follow the documentary and Susanne on social media as if you aren't all already.
Oh.
And we'll see you at the top.
At Bartschland. Instagram at Bartschland, baby.
Yes. Thank you all for coming.
Yes.
We'll see you.
Thank you everybody for coming out. So,